So once again, Joe Biden does what he normally does, and that's make things worse for America. And he starts it off by, here we are 2 weeks out. 2 weeks out from this clown getting out of office and Donald Trump stepping in. Thank God, cannot get here fast enough. And what does Joey Biden do? And let's be honest, this is not Joe Biden. This is the puppet handlers. The people who handle the meat puppet of Joe Biden are making this decision. Joe Biden is incapable of making a decision. The only decisions Joe Biden can make is what flavor of ice cream he wants, and is to let people know that he has soiled his adult diapers. That's pretty much all he's got left upstairs in the old war chest upstairs. There's not much else going on up there. But the powers that be apparently have persuaded or somehow got Joe Biden's mouth to move long enough to issue an offshore oil and drilling ban in 625 million acres of federal water before the Trump transition. And this is absolutely one of the worst things that he could do. Now, they're going to say this is a win for climate activists. And actually, it's not. It's actually not a win for climate activists. And this is how stupid climate activists are. Is, these people all are about, their battery-powered cars like AOC. So stupid, doesn't even know the history of the car that she drives. She's an idiot. She's just a straight-up idiot. And what these clowns do, we're not going to drill for oil, we need to get rid of gas cars, carbon, the emissions, and the carbon, and, the pollution, and this and that the cars put out, not even knowing what it takes to even make a vehicle. And the simple fact that almost everything in this world is made by petroleum. Everything. The plastics you use are made by petroleum. Any type of ointment that you use, anything, A&D, whatever it is for your skin, it's petroleum based. Think about that, people. The very roads that you drive your cars on are petroleum based. The tires that drive on those roads are petroleum based. The plastics inside of your vehicle are petroleum based. This is how stupid liberals are. Because what they don't understand is if you ban oil, not only does the cost of fuel skyrocket, but literally the cost of everything in the world skyrockets because most products in the world are petroleum based. Do you know how much petroleum is used in this laptop? In my recording deck right here. It's insane how much petroleum is used in these products. And that's one thing that liberals fail to see. And this is how ignorant liberals are. But we got to have electric cars because it's cleaner. It's cleaner. Really? Really? So all the strip mining that has to occur to get the resources to make the batteries, that is devastating to the environment. I mean, devastating to the environment. And what's going to happen? And, we got these cars now. So now these cars are old enough to start coming down the line to where, guess what? These batteries are going to start dying off. And these batteries are not small. These things are massive. They can't be reused. So what's going to happen now? Are we going to have a massive battery landfill? Are we going to have to pay someone like Elon Musk to fly all these things into outer space and send them out to get rid of them? Because this is going to be the next climate problem in the next 25 to 50 years, is all the batteries that's going to come out of everything turning electric. Because at one point, they're going to surge. You're going to have a time in the next 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 years when all these batteries are going to be dead, and they're going to start coming up from everywhere, from all angles, since now everybody makes fully electric cars, which I think is absolutely asinine. I understand why Elon Musk does it because he was kind of the pioneer. I get that. But for everybody else just to jump on board like Dodge did, I mean, Chrysler, they're on their way out. What is it, Stellantis? Is that who owns Chrysler now? Yeah, they've absolutely choked Chrysler into nothing, and they are slowly killing off the Chrysler brand. If something doesn't happen drastically in the next 3 to 4 years with Chrysler, they will be gone. They will no longer be an automaker. Stellantis has seen to that. And the best thing that could happen is for an American company to buy Chrysler back and get it back out of the hands of those jackwads, because they're doing a horrible job. But they're one of the companies that bought on to the whole EV mandate. Biden's getting rid of gas. We got to start making our EV cars, and started getting rid of their tried and true V8 motors, which everybody loves. Everybody loves. You know, if I got a chance to get a 360 V8 or a twin turbo V6, I'm getting a 360 V8. And guess what? The gas mileage isn't that much worse. It is not that much worse than what's on that twin turbo V6. Well, actually, theirs is a twin turbo straight six. I apologize. But they're killing off, you know, now all their cars are hypercars, you know, which they've had to redesign them because they got to change the look since they're getting rid of, you know, what made their cars iconic. Is now they're having to redesign everything to accommodate this new inline 6-cylinder engine. And, you know, they're jumping full head on into the EV market, which is a mistake. Americans have spoken. They don't want EVs. EV sales are declining rapidly. They are declining rapidly. And I got to be sorry. I think there's enough room in the market for Elon Musk and maybe one or two like Rivian. That's it. The rest of you guys don't need to fart around with EV cars. Stick with what you do best, gas-powered cars. Now, like I said, in the brilliance of Joe Biden, he decides that he's going to put a drilling ban on 625 million acres. That is outside of the Bering Strait up above Alaska. And let's see here, off the eastern Gulf Coast of Mexico and portions of Alaska's northern Bering, the Bering Sea, from future oil and natural gas leasing. He invoked the 1953 Outer Continental Shelf Lands Act, meaning President-elect Trump could be limited in his ability to revoke the action. Congress might need to intervene to grant authority to place federal waters back into development. So let me tell you what's going to happen. This moron, this clown, this absolute worst president we've ever had in the United States, Joe Biden, who is doing everything he can to ensure that he goes down as the absolute worst. His legacy is trash. It is garbage at this point. There is no legacy for Joe Biden left. And like I said in my last video, 25, 30, 40 years from now, people are going to look back at this time as a black mark in America's history. This was the 4 years of DEI, the 4 years of wokeism, the 4 years of liberalism, which was a complete failure. Now, the amazing thing is the liberals are sticking to their guns. They're still running by the same talking points they had when Joe Biden was president, even though Kamala Harris lost resoundingly in the election. A beating of a lifetime. I mean, destroyed. Donald Trump put such a beating on the Liberal Party, I would be shocked if they get back in power within the next 12 years. I mean, he destroyed them, but the liberals are still sticking to their guns. They're so stupid they don't understand why they lost the election. And I'm going to say this again. Not only did you liberals, you Democrats, lose the election, you lost the presidency, you lost the Senate, we kept the House. You lost every single swing state. Donald Trump destroyed the blue wall. Won by 3 million votes. And I'm going to tell you, not only did the Republicans and the conservatives vote for Donald Trump and the independents, there was a whole hell of a lot of Democrats that were standing there in that line and thinking, Donald Trump, who I made money under, my life was actually pretty good under Donald Trump, or the stupidest person to run for president, Kamala Harris. I have no idea where she stands, no idea about her policies. She has no idea how to manage money. That's proof in the $1.5 billion beating they took. And that Democrat stood there and said, you know what? I'm voting for Donald Trump. Guaranteed. Now, the liberals voted for Kamala Harris. But I will bet you anything, 10% of the Democrats that voted for Donald Trump. That's how he got to 3 million votes. And it wasn't close. Because liberals, we barely lost. No, you lost by 3.3 million votes. That's not barely losing. That's getting the hell beat out of you. Losing by 300,000 votes is barely losing, not 3.3 million. You all got the hell beat out of you. But Joe Biden, once again, the American-hating president we have, Joe Biden, who's done more damage to this country than anything else, on the way out the door, not only is he throwing pardons to everybody, letting murderers off death row, not only is he doing that, commuting everybody's sentences, now he's locking down federal lands. So here's what's going to happen. So Donald Trump's going to get into the presidency. He's going to go onto the property. They're going to say, well, you can't because Joe Biden, blah, 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 blah. Then he's going to have to get his Senate, which is Republican, his Congress, which is Republican, involved. And they're going to overturn all this. So Donald Trump can drill and lower our energy cost, because all this is going to do is drive the energy cost higher. And that is what they're trying to do. They are trying their best to set Donald Trump up to fail on the front end. They do not want him to be successful. Democrats, well, no. Let me back up. I'm not going to say Democrats. Liberals are so contorted in their thinking. Their thinking is so skewed. They would rather see America suffer and Donald Trump fail over the next 4 years so they can return back to their insane power trip. That's how distorted liberals are. They would rather the country burn, absolutely fall apart over the next 4 years, just so they can say, see, Donald Trump, we told you so. They don't support Donald Trump. They don't support America. Even when Joe Biden, the god-awful Joe Biden, was president, every Republican and conservative I know, I hope he does good. Because if he does good for the country, we do good. Instead, Joe Biden did bad, so we all did bad. But that's how Republicans think. Even though we have this moron in the presidency, we want him to be successful because that means we can be more successful. Liberals want Donald Trump to fail, so America will fail just so they can say, no, see, we told you so. We told you so. And that is the truth. Because if that wasn't true, they would have changed their stupid ideology. They are absolutely unhinged and unglued in what they believe and what they think. And they would rather see America fail, the cost of energy skyrocket. So they can say, yeah, Donald Trump said he was going to bring energy prices down. They're going up. What's going on with that? What's going on with that? And that's exactly what they want. They don't care that America is suffering. They could care less. They don't care that they're suffering. They're so stupid, they don't care that they're getting hurt in the process. That's how ignorant liberals are. And like I said, conservatives, hey, we hope he does a good job. Because if he does a good job, we do a good job. Because the Liberal Party is the party of insanity. The Republican Party is the party of common sense. Common sense tells you it doesn't matter who's your president, you want him to be successful because that means the country's successful. Liberals do not think that way. They simply don't think that way. And I don't know who's pulling Joe Biden's strings at the last second because this is not Joe Biden making these decisions. But to put a ban on 625 million acres where we know that they are oil rich, we know it's there. All that is done, all they're doing is setting up a failure for Donald Trump and hurting America. That is it. It doesn't do anything else. I don't want to hear about preservation. I don't want to hear about all that shit. All right? Because if you were worried about that, you wouldn't be driving your electric cars. Let's be honest. You would not be driving your electric cars if that was the case. Because electric cars, it takes making one Tesla Model 3. And I'm not picking on Tesla. Making one basic EV car puts more carbon into the air than making a Chevrolet Malibu and driving that car for 5 years on gas. Think about that. So tell me, how is that EV saving the climate? Please, somebody explain that to me, how that EV is saving the climate. Now, what we can do is hopefully Donald Trump gets in there with Congress and they say, you know what, Joe Biden's senile, he's crazy, he's an old man, just completely nix all these stupid laws. Because one thing Donald Trump is going to do, and I hope he does this, because Joe Biden walked in and he just EO. Everything that Trump did, Joe Biden, just out of anger and his hatred of America, reversed everything Donald Trump did. I pray to God Donald Trump walks in there on the 20th and just starts EO, and reverses everything Joe Biden did to kill America. I hope to God that happens on the 20th. Get sworn in, go straight to the Oval Office and just start knocking them out, man. 300, 400, 500, however many it takes, start knocking them out. Start reversing all the insane, idiotic liberal policies of Joe Biden, including locking down 625 million acres of land where we know there is a ton of oil. Because what's going to happen here is if we drill this, we increase our oil. And this is one thing, and this absolutely cracks me up. The liberals, well, we produce more oil now than we did under Donald Trump. True, we do. And we export more oil now than we do under Donald Trump. Because oil comes in two flavors. You have sour oil and sweet oil. We cannot refine sour oil here in the United States, which is most of what comes out of the ground. So we export that oil out. because it has to be refined, because it's a nasty process refining sour oil. We refine the sweet oil here in the States. All right. So that's why we drill so much and we send so much of it out, because we have to have the sweet oil that we refine here. But if Donald Trump drills and we tap into this oil, sweet oil, sour oil, it doesn't matter, because either we produce more here for the sweet oil, we send more sour oil out, we sell it out abroad, which brings us money in. What that's going to do is lower our energy cost. Now think about this, especially you liberals. When our energy cost goes down, what goes down with it? Inflation. That's right. Inflation. Energy cost comes down. Inflation comes down. The two correlate. I know, big word for you liberals, correlate, but the two correlate. Energy cost goes up. Inflation goes up. So wouldn't it make sense to do a little bit of drilling, get the energy cost down, get inflation down? But when we have an abundance of oil, what else goes down? The cost of goods. Because a lot of goods are made with oil, made with petroleum. What do you think petroleum is? Oil. It's absolutely amazing to me. Absolutely amazing to me how stupid some people are. Absolutely amazing. Petroleum, everything you use somewhere has a petroleum base in it. I don't give a shit what it is. I don't care what it is. The latex gloves we wear in surgery, petroleum. You know, the plastic handles on the scalpels, petroleum. Yeah. A lot of the cloths we use to cover you up when we sterilize you, they're petroleum based. That's right. Think about it. So we have an abundance of oil. The cost of everything starts to come down, which again brings down inflation. Inflation comes down. What does that do? Brings down the interest rates. The interest rates come down. What does that do? People start borrowing more money. They start borrowing more. They start buying houses, which, a lot of petroleum to build those houses. They start buying houses. Money starts getting exchanged into the economy. Money's flowing everywhere. What happens? The economy does this. I don't understand how people are so stupid. They cannot, like I said, everything correlates. It all correlates, and somehow the liberals don't get it. They simply don't get it. But to throw one more iron in the fire for you liberals and, the whole oil, what's her name's? Greta Vanberg, or whatever that whack job's name is. Thornburg, that's it, Greta Thornburg. Yeah, for all you Greta Thornburgs out there, for all you clowns, the shoes you're wearing that you're running around protesting in, petroleum-based. The oil you're throwing on paintings, the paint that you're throwing on paintings and stuff, petroleum-based. That's right. The bottles that are carrying all the shit that you sling on everybody, petroleum-based. So you're actually proving my point. Everything you're doing to stop the production of oil, everything you're using to stop it is petroleum-based. Y'all are so stupid. You're just so damn stupid. It's not funny. Like I said, it's like AOC. Too damn stupid to know the history of the car she's driving. Remember when she got rid of her Tesla? Because Elon Musk, and she proudly bought her Volkswagen? Because Elon Musk was a dictator. He was a dictator. He was evil. So she bought a Volkswagen EV and then put it all over Twitter. That's how stupid she is. And then, of course, instantly got thrashed, hammered, berated, beat down. So, AOC, you really don't know who made Volkswagen, do you? You stupid ass. She just somehow completely forgot about Hitler. That's right. Hitler made Volkswagen. Ferdinand Porsche. They were using the Jews to get the company started. Then when the Jews had no more go-go juice, off to the ovens they went. That's how Volkswagen got started. But AOC is too stupid to understand that. So she cashes in her Tesla that's run by Elon Musk, who, as far as I know, has sent nobody to the ovens for making Teslas, and bought a Volkswagen. Unbelievable. That's how stupid she is. Now, I'm not sitting here berating Volkswagen. Volkswagen makes cool cars. I like Volkswagen. And that was their history. That was years ago. That was a whole different world. But you can't sit there and say Elon Musk is a dictator and makes his dictator cars and then buy the very car that was made by a dictator. Absolutely hilarious, man. So all Joe Biden is doing in his insane liberal party, dude, I am just on liberals today, man. I am just, oh my God, I can't wait for them to get out of power. is all they're doing by doing this, if for some reason Donald Trump cannot get this overturned, is that means the cost of energy will not come down. That means inflation will not come back down. Where it's sitting at now is at 3%, 2.9, 3.1. That's where it's at. It's not going to come down because we have to lower the energy cost to lower the inflation. And like I said, it all correlates. When the energy cost comes down, the inflation comes down, the economy goes rampant. That's what happens. But the liberals don't want that. They want the economy locked down, inflation high, energy high, let the country fail. That way they can return back to power in 4 years and say, see, we told you so. Because one thing you have to understand, and this is where we fail as Americans. Once the price is set, we are so ignorant we will pay the price. Case in point, during COVID, I got a friend. Well, he's not really a friend. He's a dude I know. Complete moron. Had to have the new Corvette. Paid $25,000 over retail for that Corvette. Could not wait a year and a half, 2 years to pay retail for it. Because you're not going to get one less than retail because they're still an extremely hot commodity. Because bang for the buck, the new Corvette, you simply cannot outdo it, bang for the buck. Paid $25,000 over retail. Stupid. Then got a hold of one of the other guys that he knows, talked him into buying one who paid $10,000 over retail for it. Because we set the precedent right there. Once the price is there and we show them that we're willing to pay that insanely high price, why bring the price down? We're so stupid, we're going to pay it anyway. We're so stupid. That's what we do. So the only saving grace we have is for Donald Trump to get in there, unleash the power of the United States energy sector. Because even though the cost of goods are not going to come down, the cost of food not coming down, never going to happen. Cost of insurance not coming down, never going to happen. The cost of some products manufactured will come down as the cost of energy comes down because it just simply doesn't cost as much. And the trucking, the moving the supplies will be cheaper because fuel will be much cheaper. So that is naturally going to happen. Naturally going to happen. But the only saving grace we have is to drill our asses off because we're going to have to save money where we can. And one of the best places we can save money is with oil.